Alrighty, let's get this show on the road. So, here we go. I have got my normal setup back, except for the face cam. That's just probably not gonna happen for a while. So, I ended up doing a whole lot of these. In fact, I think I've done all of the highlighted ones. So I'm gonna do a couple of the more recent ones that I got. So yeah. Let's see, one of the things that was asked specifically by Aqua Stormfall was for me to draw some of the OCs eating ice cream, and this is laggier than I remember it being. Oh well, maybe I should update my stuff, because both OBS and Fire Alpaca have had some software updates. So that's probably what I need to do in between this week and next week. Hey Julian, you doing alright? It's been a while since I've seen you on here. You doing, how's everything going? I have started adding rants and little arguments to these just to give myself something to talk about. And this week's subject is why you should always look a gift horse in the mouth. Now, I am aware of the actual meaning of this idiom. This idiom is don't criticize a present that you got for free. But I feel like it could be better structured. Now, I am not personally a person who owns or regularly interacts with horses, but I did have a shameless horse phase when I was growing up. So I happen to know that a horse's mouth is actually something you have to be very careful to take care of. Their teeth need to be floated or filed down so they don't chew their own mouth up all the time. Their teeth need to be floated regularly, and if they get food stuck in them, that can mess them up for days. So horse dentistry and dental hygiene is actually arguably more important for the horse than human dental hygiene is for humans. And human dental hygiene is important. So, of course the human, or of course the horse, that is, can't brush its own teeth. So, in order to properly take care of your horse and its dental hygiene, you have to look in its mouth. This goes for any horse, whether you bought it or whether it was given to you. It's how you properly take care of a horse. You know, one of the many ways in which you have to properly take care of a horse. So the idea that one shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth is actually kind of irresponsible, because that gift horse... Oh! Hey Aqua, glad to see you here. That is oddly appropriate. It's funny because I was just talking about horse dentistry, and I just had a dental appointment this past week. My teeth are not good. And you just got back from a dentist appointment, so dentistry appears to be on our collective brains, so that's good for our purposes here. So I was just talking about how important horse dentistry is to the upkeep and maintenance of a horse, whether it's a gift horse or not. So if you want to take care of your gift horse, you're gonna have to look at it in the mouth. Now, as for you shouldn't criticize something that was given to you, that's the one point where I can concede that, you know, maybe this idiom might have something useful to say, you know, because, I mean, why should you criticize free stuff, right? Well, the biggest question I think you should ask is, why is it free? Because going in with this, you know, there's no such thing as a free lunch, meaning even if you don't pay money for something, it costs somewhere else. It may cost in the time and materials it took to make it. And at the very least, it's going to cost in the time it takes to eat it.
Well, and yet everybody cries about everything should be free, but if everything should be free, the government would go broke and we're screwed.
Yeah, this is an apolitical channel. I'm just analyzing a common idiom here.
Okay.
So why should you criticize gifts? Well, you don't know necessarily where they came from. If someone hands you a laptop, you know, is that laptop legitimately, or was that laptop fairly gotten? You know, you don't know if someone's trying to pawn off a stolen laptop on you. You know, you should especially think critically about things you're being given when it comes down to money. And I say this as someone who has had to take out student loans recently. I know that there are stipulations that come with the money that I was given, and that I will have to pay it back plus interest. Some of that interest is compounding, some of that interest will not start compounding until after I graduate. But I didn't just say, oh, they want to give me money, I'm gonna take it. I had to look at the terms and everything that was involved in it. Or, to put it simply, I had to look this gift horse in the mouth, and I'm glad I did, because it turns out it has some issues. And those are issues that I need to bear in mind as I continue moving forward. So, yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to say about the topic of looking a gift horse in the mouth. You know, you gotta make sure it has good teeth, and if it doesn't have good teeth, you have to know how to take care of them. Now, someone did make the argument that maybe you shouldn't criticize a gift when the giver is nearby. And I could see that being a point of courtesy if maybe the horse was given to you by a well-meaning person who doesn't know how to look into buying a horse. You know, the horse here being a metaphor for whatever it is they're giving you, you know. They could be giving you a car and it could be a total lemon. They could be, you know, they could have found you a house but it's got asbestos in it, you know. In my case, they could be buying you a laptop and not looking into any of the specs or what any of the tech it has in it actually means or does. In which case, yeah, it may not be polite to criticize your gift in front of the person who's giving it to you. You know, maybe they spent a considerable amount of money on it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't look at your gift critically to determine how best to take care of it and how best to continue moving forward. And really, you know, whether it's polite or not to criticize something that someone gave you with that person around, I think that is debatable. It depends on the person who gave it to you and the attitude they have towards critique, and even the kind of critique you have to offer, you know? Saying, you know, if I said to the person who gave me the laptop, this laptop sucks, and didn't explain why, that wouldn't be useful. So I'm not saying just go around bitching about everything for no reason. And YouTube, please don't demonetize me for saying that word, but I couldn't really think of a better way to phrase it at the moment. Because, let's be real here. You know, don't go around offering criticism that doesn't help. There is certainly a balance to be had. So, with that rant pretty much out of the way, and we're not even 15 minutes in, yikes, that was disappointing. I think we're almost ready for our second sketch layer. So let's see, this is Anne and Chase and Dylan enjoying some ice cream together in true Kingdom Hearts fashion. And, yeah. I'm not really sure what else to continue talking about. Does anybody have an opinion on looking a gift horse in the mouth? Or maybe we should just talk about idioms in general, because a lot of them have been essentially cut in half and have had their meanings lost. For example, blood is thicker than water used to be the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Meaning, essentially, the choices you make are more important than the circumstances of your birth. Even though shortened, it's kind of the opposite. The complete version of great minds think alike is, but fools rarely differ. Let's see. You know, I've heard that the complete version of Rome wasn't built in a day was, but it burned in one. So, you know, there's a lot to be gained, I think, by looking deeper into our sayings and stuff. But, you know, or do you guys have a favorite idiom? Or, if we stretch from idioms, we can start talking about things like metaphors and metaphors. A metaphor being a messed up idiom that conveys a different meaning, often intended in a humorous way. So, my favorite metaphor is I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. Meaning, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it wrong. I liked the first episode of Castlevania. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's kind of a shame that, oh man, I can't even remember her name at the moment, because I'm too busy thinking about, you know, why would someone even come up with the phrase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth? That's how you take care of a horse. It's just, I mean, surely if someone gave you a horse, you'd want to take care of it so you wouldn't have to buy another one at the very least. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was also kind of a shame that her dying wish basically got completely ignored. it's very easy for me to imagine that character in the afterlife watching everything going down and thinking well, I don't know. I feel like I've already hit my YouTube swearing limit today, so I'm not gonna say it. Because I am not... I don't want to shoot myself in the foot for monetization this soon. I say, having already had videos, or having plenty of videos that have been flagged for copyright reasons. I need to stop doing that, by the way. Like, I really just need to start using more Creative Commons stuff and not copyrighted stuff. So... well, I mean, yeah, some did listen, but... just... well, like, she spent her death basically begging her husband not to do anything to the people who were killing her. And what does he do? The first thing he does is he plans the mass murder of the people who killed her. So, I feel like his reaction was maybe disrespectful to the person he claimed to be the love of his extremely long life. You know? I don't know. Like, it's a very classic narrative, you know? Man leaves his wife alone for what should be a fairly short amount of time. What could possibly go wrong? She dies. He enacts horrible revenge on the people who killed her. It's a tale as old as time, really. That doesn't mean I have to like the way it's used here. You know, I feel like it strips her of her agency and her influence. And it's like, really, you married this person, but you can't think of what they would prefer that you did? I don't know. Then again, I also realize that grief is a very powerful emotion, and people who are grieving don't always act rationally. So, it's frustratingly bulletproof in that way. So, like I said, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the episodes so far, and I'm excited to see where the series goes. That's just, like, the one aspect of it I don't particularly care for, you know? Not saying I hate it, just I criticize the things I love. It's what I do. You know, I can't... You know, it's not necessarily it's bad because of this, but I think maybe it could be better if it did something else, is a better way to look at it, you know. I guess, I don't know. Nothing new in the chat. I'm done with rants for now. I should have made some notes and really looked at the topic at hand. Maybe did some more research on horse dentistry. I don't know. I feel like my horse face keeps coming back in the weirdest ways. Because, I don't know, one of the things that I would like to write is a modern fantasy, and one of the characters that I had in mind was like this personal trainer slash yoga instructor who is a centaur. And while I was coming up with that concept, I had to look up horse yoga to see approximately what range of motion a centaur would have, because I mean, realism and fantasy is important or something. People seem to act like it is anyway. So yeah, your channel falls a little more clearly under fair use, though, because you offer commentary and the content of the game, while the text of the games that you play isn't necessarily changed by your commentary changes the lens through which people view the games you play. Like the whole not family thing. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that thing that intellectuals do where we stroke our own egos, so to speak, or where they stroke their own egos. I don't think I can really count myself as an intellectual. I'm a video production major in college. I mean, how intellectual is that, really? But I think I think it makes for an interesting analysis of the text of Birth by Sleep. Which is weird because while it is an interesting analysis, it also kind of plays into one of the things that I hate about the grimdark trend is where they'll create a legitimately interesting and fantastical world and then use some, and I'm using air quotes here, you just can't see them, dark plot twist that actually brings it into the real world, so to speak. And so I don't know, it's interesting, or I haven't figured out why I like our not family analysis of Birth by Sleep, even though I usually hate that kind of thing when it comes to other stuff.
Sorry.
It's okay. You use a copyrighted character as a voice for clip. Well, here's the thing though. When you are saying things in that voice as Skeletor, you're not actually playing Skeletor. You're playing a parody of Skeletor. And parody falls under fair use. Just like whenever I swear as Mickey Mouse, I'm not playing Mickey Mouse, I'm playing a parody of Mickey Mouse. So that is okay, even though Disney would probably prefer if I didn't do that. Because, I mean, Mickey's Mickey. Do I even need to explain? But, and like, nobody actually owns the concept of divorce jokes. Anybody can make them, you know? So it really, your work does fall more clearly under fair use than mine. Which is fair enough. If I wanted my work to fall under fair use more often, I could do more parodies, or, you know, I could start making original content for once. That might be a good solution. You know, maybe I could actually draw a comic that takes place in this modern fantasy world with the centaur yoga trainer, whatever. So yeah, your work really does fall closer to the definition of fair use. I'm not sure if they fall under the offensive content category. I know lots of people in my traditionally married family find divorce jokes offensive, but I mean, and I know that a lot of people who have been through divorce or who have parents who are divorced may find it offensive, but I mean, my parents are...
They can get over it.
My parents are divorced, and I find divorce jokes hilarious, you know, as long as they don't necessarily imply abuse or anything. Sometimes relationships are just dysfunctional, and it's nobody's fault, you know? And you know, sometimes divorce is legitimately scarring. You know, some people could argue that I have been scarred by my parents' divorce, and quite frankly, I'm not sure I can debate them. But I can say that, you know, life goes on and so should we.
And yet people whine about everything.
Again, this channel is not necessarily...
Oh.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Sorry, crap!
It's okay. Just, if you want, I can find a different place to record next week.
Oh no, I'm going out anyway.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck with, whatever it is you're doing. Is it class or something?
Exam.
Okay. Good luck on the exam.
Thank you.
Everybody says hello, and
Hello.
it's okay, you're still new to this.
Bye.
Bye. So, yeah, everybody wish her luck on her exam. I'm not sure which class it's for, but today is looking like a really busy day. We have an inspection of our dorm later, and we haven't exactly been total slobs, but we did do some additional spot cleaning to prepare for it. You know, I still have some things I could stand to do, like take out the trash and other mundane chores like that, and I am gonna do that after this stream. My voice is kind of starting to go. I don't mean for that to happen. I think I may be coming down with the flu or something. In response to that, I have loaded up on hand sanitizer, and Lysol wipes, disinfectant stuff. And then I'm also taking vitamins and emergency and drinking lots of tea with lots of honey. And just, in general, trying to keep my symptoms as unobtrusive as possible, but admittedly I'm still pretty tired and I do have this reoccurring headache. It'll go away in a little bit. The dorms are fine, you know, they're dorms, they're small, you know. The communal bathroom's alright. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that our bathroom only services 8 girls instead of the entire floor. So there's that. You know, it's just kind of life as normal. Really, it's not that different from having a bunch of housemates or living with your family, except everybody is strangers and you're just kind of thrown together. And you gotta figure out how to make it work. And for the most part, how we make it work is ignore each other, except when we can't. You know? Okay, I'm gonna fix this arm up a little bit. And then I'm going to start coloring this. So let's do filter hue. Move the hue this way. Saturation down, brightness down quite a bit. And then we will open up our reference window. Actually, that's a good reference for Anne. And we will color this with our pen. And again, I'm gonna update the list later. We've just got a ton of stuff happening today. I may end up having to move the live streams to, like, I don't know. I have my screenwriting class this evening. Like, I was planning to do my evening stream and then that class, but then I got the notification that we're having our dorm inspected just to make sure we're not, like, a biohazard. You know? Thanks. I'm glad you like how this is coming out so far. I'm gonna switch it to a green, even though... Wait, this is just a straight up neutral gray. Never mind, there's not even any need to change the hue of it. Well, okay, it's not a completely neutral gray. Or at least it wasn't, until it was. So let's open some of the other art I have of these characters. Oh boy, the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. I was right! Shion Nort doesn't make any sense! Yay! She hasn't been Norted. The Shion fans among us are thrilled about that, I say as a Shion fan. Um, but, the other thing is, I think Just a Pancake may have been right. Like, it could be that Data Riku slash Jiminy's journal was the actual character who was Norded in that case. At which point, just what? You know? Um, that, mm, that would make quite a few predictions of Just a Pancakes right in a row. It would also mean that Recoded is relevant to the plot of Kingdom Hearts 3. Um, so yeah, it's an interesting reveal. Um, how do you Nort a book? I don't know. I have no idea how you would Nort a book. But, the other option is that it's Repliku that got Norted. Or the Riku replica. Which even then, isn't the Riku replica kinda not alive at this point? I mean, like, you could argue the book isn't alive either. But still. You're a book. You're an inanimate object. Does this look inanimate to you, punk? I can't help making Little Shop of Horrors references. They make it too easy, guys. Little Shop of Horrors. Somehow that became my favorite musical while I wasn't looking. I have no idea how or why. Maybe it's because of how crazy the plot is. You know, another good option might be, yeah, I thought the Riku replica was dead. It could be a different Riku replica. I don't think it's actually Riku. So, like, either a book got Norded, or a Riku replica is back from the dead, or Riku got Norded again. Or wait, was the time he was Norded in the first game technically a Nord, or... I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. So, yeah, it's a interesting set of questions that we've got here, now that we know it's not Shion who's been Norded. Just, I have questions that probably only the game will answer, or any further trailers if we get them. You know, that's also an option. So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack in the trailer. Maybe I will actually write down and produce a trailer reaction, but I don't know. I don't really feel qualified. I've only played like 2 and not even a half games. Does not compute. Does not compute. System shut down. Oh boy. We make... Just at this point, I'm honestly wondering if Just a Pancake might be a troll account from Nomura himself, but probably not. I mean, really, what are the odds of that? It would be a brilliant move, though. You know? From like a marketing standpoint and stuff, you know? Just become one of the biggest channels in your own fandom. But, I don't know. On one hand, it would make so much sense. On the other hand, would it? Why would you do this, Nomura? But, like, it would explain the text-to-speech. And, several other things. But then again, text-to-speech is a very common comedic, technique. Especially in the generation that has it. Because it's so, because it's almost completely inflectionless, you know? And, it's a very good comedic technique, in my opinion. I should figure out how to use it. Maybe just have text-to-speech play over my videos. That way I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, actually narrating them. And that would help me go a long way in avoiding copyright. Well, in avoiding copyright strikes, at least. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. You know, even with all the divorce jokes that make me kind of feel like an awful person for laughing at them. You know, well, I'm pretty sure everybody has a thing in comedy that they find hilarious, but also feel like a bad person for finding it hilarious. For me, divorce jokes and murder jokes are those. That said, am I ever going to stop finding them funny? I don't know. I started coloring this in. Let me go back to the navigator. Navigator. I'm gonna do my best to never draw that. Just saying. Gonna try to avoid drawing that one fairy from Ocarina of Time, I think. I'm certainly not gonna draw an alligator saying, "Hey, listen!" Just because... no. Anyway. Let's fill this in. Aw, darn. Let me set this to canvas. There we go. Old technique I picked up from my days of working in Microsoft Paint. My, how far I've come. But, oh yeah, we did start theorizing that, oh, that's cool. I know a lot of people like Funko Pops. They're cool. But I will say the one thing that you did miss is that we started theorizing that, just a pancake might not be just a pancake. He might be, more, doing a brilliant advertising scheme. That said, do we actually think that's the case? Probably not. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Aqua? You doing alright? There we go. Just cleaning this up a little bit. But yeah, that's the worst thing about getting them cleaned at the dentist is how sensitive they are after that. Because it's like, can I eat anything? Yes, but imagine the cost. And so let's fill in these ice creams. These are, of course, sea salt ice creams because these are Kingdom Hearts OCs. But yeah, also we make way too many divorce jokes. I never thought I'd be an edgelord, but that's one thing I think I don't do too well, is I make way too many divorce jokes. Alrighty, we are 51 minutes in. Can't believe this took an hour. This is not good work for an entire hour. Oh well. So let's make a new layer, drag it under this one, and add a nice sunset-y gradient. We'll go from like a nice dark purple to a red. And then we'll go from a nice orange, just the foreground. And lastly, a nice golden yellow under that. Ooh. Thanks, I'm glad it looks good. Well, yeah, I guess I'll wait, that's on my other... I think that's on my other computer anyway. And if it's not on my other computer, I did it in a different program that I haven't set OBS to capture yet, because reasons, okay? Mainly that I'm still getting used to that program, and also I'm not sure how well my computer will handle using that program and broadcasting at the same time. But yeah, the Not Dad one is something that I did in Autodesk Sketchbook. And Sketchbook is a great program, I'm just not sure if my computer can handle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to shift the hue down in brightness. Oh boy, that looks awful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate that, select on the layer, invert the selection, and I'm gonna clean it up in a couple places. And I'm going to shrink it, so select, contract, I'll do 10 pixels. No, I'll do 15, so select, contract, another 5, and then I'm gonna hit delete there. And then filter, hue, brightness. There we go. And then on this layer, I can fill in some of the stuff I'm missing. So I can go up to this layer here and erase a couple things just to make it a bit better. There we go. Alrighty, I think I'm to the point where I can just about call this done. So yeah, let's add a little more light to the face here. Oh, I didn't grab the color I needed for the ice creams. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna call this done because we have like a minute and yeah, we have like a minute left. So yeah, I'm gonna call this done. I'm sorry it's all I got done this stream, but I've gotta do some stuff. And so yeah, I will see you guys some other time. And by some other time, I mean next week. And I will also have a speed paint for you on Friday, so bye.